The following podcast is a collection of creatives posing interesting perspectives and opinions on branding, marketing, business, and everything in between. The views expressed on this podcast do not necessarily reflect the beliefs of its guests, hosts, or production team. The names, circumstances, and situations discussed are about 98% fictitious, with the primary intent to protect the guilty. Well, this podcast is designed to educate, inform, enlighten, and if you're entertained in the process, we did our job.
Some corporate giants get some really big hits over the past 2 weeks. If you're an entrepreneur, in this episode, we're going to talk about how to overcome such shutdowns and how to fail-safe your business in the process. This is the Making a Brand podcast. Listen, good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever you are in the world. I want to welcome you to the Making the Brand podcast. My name is Jarvis Releford, and
I am Kris Kinder.
Listen, I'm excited to be here today.
Me too.
How you doing?
I'm good.
You look good. What's going on?
Thank you. You know,
glowing?
just loving life.
Look, you glowing? What's his name? What's his name? Call him out. What's his name?
His name is Jesus.
Is this the same dude? Jesus? No, his name wasn't Jesus last week. He was your business partner last week.
He's my business partner, and he's still my business partner.
Okay.
You know, he's doing great.
Okay, he's doing good.
All is well.
Shout out to your business partner.
Shout out to our business partner.
Yeah, what's going on in your world?
I literally have been spending a lot of time in the acting film industry. I did a large portion of last year behind the scenes.
Okay.
And a friend called me up, had me audition for a space, so I just booked another role on the side. I'm excited about that.
Dope.
You know,
Okay.
gotta freshen up your skill set every now and then.
Okay.
I love it. I love the ins and outs of film.
Okay.
So to be in front of the camera, I can definitely do that, and then I'll skate right back behind it so we can start telling the stories.
Okay,
but
perfect.
I'm super excited about that. And what about you?
Man, I'm just cooking. I'm just cooking, just working. I'm blessed. We got some stuff coming up in April. I'll be in Baltimore, but it's moving. It's God. I feel like the mic is in my face. God is good all the time, and we just keeping it rocking and rolling.
All right.
Did you hear my hands on the mic just then?
Yeah, you good?
Okay, cool.
All right, so we good to go.
Okay, cool. So, all right. So, listen, we got a good episode today.
I know, this is crazy.
Some really big, some crazy stuff has been happening with some major players.
Mm-hmm.
And again, like the Making a Brand podcast, this isn't some like current events type, gossip pod. This is where we educate, inform, entertain, and we really talk about what business owners are going through in the marketplace, right?
Yeah.
So AT&T 2 weeks ago, AT&T decided did they decide? AT&T decided to shut down service for about 8 to 10 hours.
I personally think it was out of their control, but carry on.
You think it was out of their control?
Absolutely.
Are you
There's
AT&T
no way.
customer?
I am not.
Okay, so I'm an AT&T customer.
Mm-hmm.
And I went without. I actually didn't. I woke up around maybe 5, but didn't really notice that I had Wi-Fi, so I was able to still surf the web.
Yeah, that's what fooled a lot of people.
Yeah, I was able to still do the things that I needed to do, and I didn't realize it until like 9, 10 o'clock, and I'm reading statuses on social media, and people are like, "Oh, AT&T, count your days," and all this other stuff. And so, and that's when I realized it, and then I realized, hey, my phone hasn't rang.
Mm-hmm. You were enjoying that piece a little bit too much.
I was, because I ain't gonna front. Like, I get more telemarketers calling my phone than.
Yeah, I was trying to, I thought Spam Likey was trying to get at me a couple of times because he kept calling over and over, causing a little confusion at the home. But, we worked it out. It's a real Spam Likely. But the thing is, what got me about a lot of AT&T customers is that you realize what was happening. Everybody was like, count your days. Mm-hmm. But the question is, did you leave though?
Did you leave? I saw some really funny photos of people like outside the AT&T store and the AT&T worker. Like,
yeah, I saw that.
The dude was all stressed out. That was hilarious to me. But for me, leaving never crossed my mind.
Really?
Man, listen, we're business owners, we're entrepreneurs. Mm-hmm. I'm going to have a bad day. And if you decide that you want to jump ship because I had a bad day, then I have to say sayonara. I have to say, I've been with AT&T for 25 years.
Are you serious?
25 years. So
that's loyal.
Yeah, I've been since I was a kid.
Yeah, people don't even stay married for 25 years.
I've been married to AT&T for 25 years.
Oh, wow.
So them having one bad day in 25 years, I ain't going nowhere. I'm good. They've taken care of me. You know what I'm saying? They've done a great job. They've taken care of me. So yeah, there were people I did see, I'm leaving. I ain't got time for this, da, 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 da. And the fact of the matter is it can happen to anybody.
Yeah.
It can happen to any network. It's not. So people, you really got an opportunity to see the type of clients that people would be in the event of your mishap. You know what I'm saying?
So what you're saying is you did not leave because they've been good to you.
I'm going to say I did not leave because I gave grace. And now if this was a every other day occurrence, like it's time for me to get out of town. One day, 8 hours and 25 years. I'll go another 25 years and they could cut my phone off for another 8 hours once a year. Like that to me, it just didn't equate to, so I'm leaving. And I think it was fake outrage. I think people were just like, you know what I'm saying? But from a branding perspective, what do you do like when your phone's off and there's nothing you can do about it, right?
So you said something good, right? Because what you said was I still had access to my Wi-Fi.
Absolutely.
So there were still other things
Absolutely.
And other things that you had access
Absolutely.
to. We're going to, kind of get into like
Absolutely.
social media.
Absolutely.
You lost your phone, but you still had access to people.
Absolutely.
Which is probably why the hit wasn't as bad.
Right.
Just recently, we all know it. What was that? Facebook?
It was actually Meta. So it was Facebook, Instagram, and WhatsApp went all down not too long ago. And there was, people were scared again.
Man.
People were scared. I did think somebody had got into my account.
I literally went down the list. It was about 3 people that I felt like could have reported my page just on some hating stuff. Just hating. I was just like, you know what?
Don't be a hater.
Who reported my page? I took screenshots. I kept trying to get in. I'm like,
who were the dudes that could have did it?
We're not doing that. We're not doing we don't do names. I'm just saying,
Okay.
just at the height of it, do you know how hard you would have to work to build that?
That's
certain
tough.
People. I mean, if you got like 150 friends, just follow them again. Tell them you got hacked, right?
Yeah.
But to us who have done business, we do our branding, our relationships, we are set on our social media.
Right.
That was huge.
Yeah.
We were a little shaken.
Yeah.
Now,
for a minute.
For a second.
For me, it was the same situation with AT&T. Like I was creating some sets, so it didn't bother me, but I could understand how it shook some people. The best thing about it was in the past when Meta goes out, it's been like a day, a whole day, like a night, like a 24-hour thing. This is only like 2 hours.
But look at the panic.
Yeah, it was
in
panic.
2 hours. So what happened from back then when it shut down to today, where people are panicking after only 2 hours?
Yeah. Well, certain people were panicking.
Absolutely.
Certain people panicking.
I mean,
I'm gonna tell you who didn't panic.
Who?
The entrepreneurs and the business owners that have their email list intact. The entrepreneurs and business owners that have their SMS messaging intact. The SMS marketing intact. The entrepreneurs and business owners that have their websites intact and can handle conversations and flow of traffic absent of social media.
Can I add another? The entrepreneurs who have great customer service,
Absolutely.
like AT&T,
Absolutely.
that you just said people aren't going to jump ship for a day, especially something that's out of your control.
Yeah, we're not leaving Facebook.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying?
Came
we're not
right
leaving
back.
Facebook. But what I'm saying is the outage didn't affect, like when AT&T went out, we were unable to make calls that day. So and now AT&T, I'm not gonna front, like they dropped the ball on the service going out. And then in turn, they dropped the ball. You know, they gave a $5 credit to everybody for that day. I was a little irritated with the $5 credit.
I would have left after the $5. At this point, though, okay, we cool.
Yeah, $5.
I can't even buy a meal with $5. What we gonna do on that bill?
You're gonna need some extra money on that.
Facts.
So what I did, I called AT&T up and I was like, hey, let's talk about this. And I talked to some dude named Raul. And Raul actually tried to like argue with me.
Really?
Yeah, tried to like
it was his money.
Yeah, like it was like like it's not my fault. What he says is not our fault. And I was like, well, dude, I was like, well, $5 just doesn't compensate. It's just not an equal compensation for what my business endured on that day. And he was like, well, I'm a business owner too, and I had to do this and I had to do that. And the things that he was saying was true, right? But the issue was your service went out.
Right.
Your service going out that I paid for, right? Your service caused my clients not to be able to get in contact with me through the phone, right? So understanding that, and he tried to kick it like, oh, that's not our fault. That's not our fault. I'm like, it is your fault. And I was like, I lost thousands of dollars that day because when my clients can't get in contact with me, what do? They call the next photographer. They call the next branding guy. They call the guy with Verizon. They call T-Mobile. They call Sprint. They call the guys who can get the job done. So
I would say those are the meters, but carry on.
Yeah,
be great.
Yeah. So that's what they did, and I ended up getting $50 back. I was like, hey, I've been with y'all for too long for you to just give me $5. And now I did tell him, if all you can do is $5, I'm gonna find somewhere else to do my business. And they came back and was like, we'll give you $50 per line. I got 5 lines. They gave me $50 per line.
Oh, that's a bill right there.
Yeah.
Well, that says a lot.
Yeah.
I can only imagine. What's his name? Raul.
Shout
Can
out
you
to Raul.
imagine how many calls Raul had that day?
Raul was testy.
He was
testy.
He was fighting all day though.
He was feisty. Yeah.
By the time he got with you, Raul was just like, I don't care nothing about that. Look, I'm tired.
Yeah, but he was fighting. Raul was fighting. I was a little irritated. Like, Raul, give me my money, bro. Like, what you talking about?
Yeah, Raul. If you listening, it's on site, Raul.
On site, like for real. Because, like, I'm like, this ain't yours. Like, bro, yeah, I'm just gonna escalate it, but I want to manage your expectations. Bro, don't manage my expectations. Escalate it. Don't shut up. Escalate the call. So. It was cool, but even on that day, we just had to pivot. Again, it was a break for us. For the telemarketers weren't calling, email still worked, social media still worked. I'm good. Listen, Google Voice still worked.
Google Voice still worked.
And I speak out against Google Voice because I just feel like entrepreneurs and business owners should not be using it as a primary form of communication. But Google Voice still works. So now Google Voice didn't work for the people that was in the street and their phones was off. Y'all was out of gas, and AT&T should pay dearly for that.
They should.
Y'all was out of gas, but yeah, man, with Meta going out, like I said, if you got to have your email marketing intact, you got to have your SMS marketing intact, you got to have your websites intact, so that you can still deliver and do business.
And the real one's gonna stay though.
They're gonna stay.
The real one's gonna stay, especially if you've been real. Just loyalty will speak to loyalty, period. So that was a panic though, right? Because when social media, the concept, the idea that I'm running ads on social media for business, e-commerce, like these are the people that panic. These are the people that could have lost a lot. So there are different dynamics when it comes to the phone. I may not need my phone, but I need this ad to run at least 15 times a day.
Right.
On the hour, boom, boom. So that could cause a panic.
I didn't think about it from that perspective, and you're absolutely right. I know guys that are doing $1,000 days in ads on social, and so if I'm spending $1,000 a day, in 2 hours is critical.
It's critical.
2 hours prime, like 10. I think it was like 10 to 12, 9 to 12, 9 to 11, something like that.
Yep,
that's critical.
That's lunch.
That's lunch. Yeah, and I'm spending. Yeah, that's critical. So I didn't think about it from that perspective. That's a lot. So
I think at any point when any platform shuts down, especially in a digital world,
right,
somebody's going to be affected.
True.
And if you notice the way business is being done, everything is now digital. Even, photographers, videography, there was a time back in the day, everything ran on film. Right. So I didn't need it. But now everything is digital.
Right.
So I'm online or I'm on my computer. So if anything shuts down, a matrix of electricity, you seen the movie Leave the World Behind?
I couldn't get into it. It was weird. I fell asleep on it like 26 times.
You want to know why I watched it, Truth Moment?
What's that?
Because they hyped it up.
They did hype it.
They hyped it up. Yeah. They hyped it up so much that I was just like, I got to see it. And I got to see the mystery of this film.
You know what the trick is? If social media hypes it up, it's whack. If social media says it's whack, it's dope. I don't listen. Anything they say is the complete and utter opposite. Except with, I ain't gonna talk about this.
I was about to go there.
Except with this Tyler Perry movie that just came out. Like, except that they said it was whack. It was pretty whack. But he's consistently whack. Like, he's consistently
Tyler,
whack.
Hey, man, listen.
He's consistently whack.
I respect what you are doing.
I do
you
too.
Trying to get me canceled.
I know that's your people. I know he the creme de la creme. But listen, it's whack. It's whack, bro. You whack, bro.
I've never been speechless.
Bro.
I'm not.
Bro, you
hey,
whack.
listen. Don't.
My camera, bro.
Listen,
you whack.
listen.
You whack.
Oh my god.
Oh my god. And my cousin, I'm just learning. I had a cousin to help write it or produce it or something.
Shout out to your cousin.
I need to give her a call. Like, it was whack.
So let me ask you a question. Why was it whack? We gotta give me a minute. Give me 3 minutes on this subject. Tell me why you think that movie was whack.
I really want to tackle this from a branding perspective, but I can't.
Okay.
Because it's just that bad. So this is the consistent narrative amongst 98.9% of Tyler Perry films. Mm-hmm. Poor acting, poor writing, poor acting and poor writing. So like the whole, you said wigs?
He said the wigs, so we got wigs coming
hair,
in from
Listen,
production is saying wigs.
Wigs. It's just
I think the wigs have gotten better. You know?
I cut the show off when the mom, who had been rocking with Kelly Rowland all movie long, finally gets her to the dinner table and is like, yeah, you can't take this case because your boyfriend's or your husband's older brother is trying to get on the other side. And Kelly was like, and nobody knows that the brother is unemployed and all of this light-skinned Mexican guy that she's married to is unemployed. Typical, right?
Light-skinned Mexican guy.
Unemployed, ain't had a job in months. And you know what I'm saying? So like, I was just like, yeah, whatever.
So the thing is, here's the thing. I think for me, if a movie moves me to a certain emotion, I think it's great. So this is how I judge film. It's not about how you act. It's about the way you make me react.
I love that.
So when I'm looking at the film, one thing I absolutely loathed was the blatant disrespect of Kelly Rowland's character from the family, because I don't think that's realistic. And I was pissed because I just don't think that would really happen.
It's not realistic. It's not realistic.
You understand what I'm saying? So, and I don't know if that was the intention of that, to make us angry, and then for her to go back. If you've not seen this film, sorry, this is going to ruin it for you. Spoiler alert.
We ain't spoiling that.
She went back to the house. You turned it off. You didn't even see that part. You don't even know what I'm talking about right now.
Was it after the dinner table situation?
It's the fact that
Yeah, I cut it off.
You let his ex-girlfriend sit there and you just sit there. I'm like, in what life does that happen? Yeah. And in what world does a black woman allow it? Right. There's no way. Yeah. There's no way. I thought it was unrealistic from that perspective.
Right. And this is a Mexican that's pulling these things off.
This is not a Mexican. They're not Mexican.
Her husband was Mexican.
He was black and white mixed. That lady was white. The mama was white.
His daddy was a Mexican. Was his daddy in the movie?
Okay.
Was his daddy in the movie?
Okay. No, the daddy wasn't in the movie. Okay, so we assume. Okay.
I mean, we could say he was black, but you saw his hair. He's Mexican.
Okay. So we gonna address him as the Mexican guy.
Was his daddy in the movie?
His daddy wasn't in the movie.
So his daddy wasn't in the movie. He either had to be black or Mexican.
He's not.
His hair was too good to be black. He's Mexican.
Yeah, I did kind of see the end. If you ever go back just to watch it, just for the sake of, there are a couple of scenes in there that had everybody kind of taken back. The one scene of, I don't think he tried hard enough and got that much access to a smart woman like that. Yeah, it was too easy. Something was, but
the brother,
yeah,
his daddy was black.
Of course his dad was black.
His daddy was black.
Because he's black.
The older brother's daddy was black.
You think so?
Yeah, the older brother. They got two different dads. Did you see the mom?
I saw the mom. She was white, blonde hair. White. Was she blonde
Tyler Perry knows exactly what he's doing. Creating these racial narratives in his movies and branding and marketing these movies.
The racial narratives are... See, we just got over. This is Brandon, all right? It is Brandon. You're saying Tyler Perry movies are branded
His brand,
this way.
Absolutely. His brand is...
No, his brand... I do see a lot of his brand being broken black relationships. Mm-hmm. Painting the men as the villain. Mm. Now, we do get that a lot. And I think you could expect that going to a Tyler Perry film.
True. We
expect that. Except for Daddy's Little Girls. You know, I like that one. It was a redemption story.
That was cool. I like the Comeback Kids.
Yeah, that was cool.
The one that did it for me, and this is all off topic, the one Tyler Perry movie that did it for me, and I could not finish it because It was so triggering. It was so jarring. Acrimony. That one, I felt that one from start to finish, and I didn't finish it.
It flipped the narrative.
Yeah, that was a different. That was my childhood. And so, yeah, I had to walk out of the movie theater. Like, I can't do this. I'm not watching this.
So flipping the narrative from a black woman's side, that could definitely be triggering.
Yeah, very much so.
I get it.
Yeah,
I think he speaks for the people, but it's all broken.
Yeah.
Like, what comes together with that?
Successful man, wife want to come back and get I went with all that. Yeah, shooting him on the boat and all that other stuff. Yeah, I got to go, Tyler.
Yeah, and I think I watched that movie when the AT&T phones were shut down. So shout out to Tyler, shout out to Netflix.
Got you. So this happens to you.
Yeah.
AT&T, who you with? What service you with?
I'm with Verizon.
Verizon goes out. How long you been with Verizon?
I know someone who worked for Verizon.
Who?
Myself.
Okay.
So
she was going somewhere else with that.
Yeah. I trust their service. It's solid. It's always been solid.
Always.
I think what Verizon does really well is they adjust to the times. I was there, and I'm going to age myself, when they were pushing people into the smartphones. That was a whole intentional...
What was before smartphones?
Basic phones.
What's that? What that look like?
Flip phones.
Flip phones? What's that?
You know, exactly. You never had a flip phone? The phone you can hang up in somebody's face and just shut it like that. That hard, disrespectful hang up when you shut it.
Oh, wow.
Back in the day, flip phone. Yes.
Okay. That's before my time.
Yes, before internet. Okay. So any phone that did not have internet access.
Before the internet. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, internet on phones.
Okay.
But, you know, they were there during the BlackBerry times when you had all of the buttons. So I love the CDMA platform. The fact that they're able to adjust with the times, adjust with pricing. Because at one point, you know, Verizon had the highest bill.
Right.
That was their reputation.
Absolutely.
And now they've adjusted. You know, they have great plans, great phones, great insurance, Assurion. They just have a great service. So I rock with them.
I love Verizon. I'm an AT&T client, but I've always admired Verizon and what they did. I used to work at the post office way back when, and it's in this plant, and nobody could get service in the plant except Verizon clients. Yeah. So I was like, yeah, I'm gonna go to Verizon one day, but I never went.
I mean, at this point, they're all the same.
Yeah.
But you know, what I can get at AT&T, I can get at Verizon.
True.
I mean, when I mean service wise,
right.
I remember back in the day, you could get an AT&T phone and activate that AT&T phone in other services. With Verizon phones, it was strictly
Verizon.
Just whatever that CDMA platform was. If you didn't have this type of phone, it couldn't be activated anywhere else, which made them very exclusive.
I remember.
So if you were a Verizon customer, it was this exclusivity that I kind of rock with. I like it.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Gotcha. So let's just say in a perfect world, let's just say Verizon shuts down for a day. You're a Verizon customer. How long you been? You said you was with them for a long time, right? Mm-hmm. So let's just say you decide to leave, because I saw a lot of outrage on social, right? Mm-hmm. Can one customer affect the trajectory or the path of a business? And let's break it down. Let's bring because AT&T, of course, one customer can't kill AT&T. One customer can't kill Verizon. But from a branding and marketing perspective, as a small business or entrepreneur enterprise, can one client destroy the trajectory of a business?
Yeah, it depends on who that client is. I did have a story, and so we talk about relational equity, right? Relational currency is where I will go, right? Okay. It's loyalty will breed loyalty. It just goes back and forth. So I had this stylist, and we're married to our stylists and our barbers. These are relationships that you married to. I'm talking if you go to another stylist, your stylist has an issue with you the next time you walk in, and they low key throwing jabs while they doing your hair, right. So I experienced that, but I have recently had to leave my current stylist. And so the thing,
what's her name?
We're not doing that. Cause here's the thing, right?
So you don't go to her no more?
I don't.
You miss her? You miss her?
No, it was a buildup, right?
Okay.
So for me, it's what you said, and I'm so glad that you said that because you tied it back to AT&T has been good to me over the years. So I'm able to have grace for this one moment. Absolutely. For me, if I'm showing up, if my appointment is at 1:00 and you don't show up until 3:00, the only thing that kept me there is now I know how my hair is going to look when I leave here. So let me just duke that out. But you keep doing a lot of that. And then you come and don't even acknowledge that you're late.
You one of them.
You one of them. And it's like nobody says anything.
I'm talking about you one of them.
I am.
Yeah, you one of them.
You're going to talk to me. You're going to acknowledge.
Right.
Because it's disrespectful. It is.
I get it.
No, communicate with me.
I get it. Results speak, especially in that field. Like my barber be late
all the time.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Y'all don't talk about it?
Hell no. Cause
I'm done.
Yeah, he's dope. He's dope. And I've been on this planet for some moons, and nobody's cut my hair the way my barber cuts my hair. So I will wait 2 hours. I will wait 3 hours. I will wait.
But I did.
Yeah.
I did that. Keep in mind, that's not why I left.
Why you leave?
Again,
why you leave?
I said, and I would stay there because I know how I was about to be laid when I left that shop. Right, I had my little, do.
Where you about to go?
It was a vibe, huh?
Where you was about to go?
Well, when I left the shop? Oh, no, because by the time I leave the shop, it's like 2:00 in the morning. I'm going home.
Are you going home? Okay.
The next day, I do stuff, I had a style that allowed me to book roles so people like the style. So, and she was really good at that.
Okay.
But it was this one comment. We're in the shop and she's going off on some of these people. I think they hit a nerve, and she was like, one client ain't gonna make or break me. Y'all can go over to, and she named another stylist, famous stylist here in Atlanta. And I just thought that was so disrespectful. Because what you're saying to your loyal people, and then everybody that was in the room that day were loyal customers. These are your clients. We're here every Friday together with you, and you say that to them, and they took it like a grain of salt, right? For me, customer service wise, what you're saying to me is if you leave, I won't miss you. So if I leave and you don't miss me, that validates that I made the best decision. I want to go where I'm valued.
I get that.
Period.
I get that.
I want to go where I can walk out of the shop and know you're not about to have a whole conversation about me when I leave. I want to go and have a whole, good feeling that I've placed my money in these fertile grounds that creates great relationships.
That's interesting. That's interesting. I never looked at it like that. I'm paying for a service. I'm paying for it. Like, I don't care how fertile your ground is, bro. Like, you do a great job cutting my hair. So, but I feel that, and I never thought that, I never looked at it that way. I look at church that way. I make sure that I'm sowing into fertile ground with, when I'm sowing seeds. But I never. Do
you have a personal relationship with your barber outside of the shop? So when you go to that point, you just keep it business. I get it. I'll do that.
We talk personal stuff, but I'm not hanging out with my barber outside of the barbershop. Like,
I just don't. It's just something about. But because I've been to great shops, right?
Right.
I've been to shops where she shows up on time and there's no chatter of other people's business in the shop. I'm just not with it. I don't like it.
Gotcha. So
it's
is
messy.
your new stylist? Let's talk about it. About it. Is your new stylist better than your old one?
She's good.
She's good. Okay, y'all heard that.
One thing I did like about my old stylist is I would go in and I could say, "Do you?
Do your thing."
And I don't have to think as much. I think the best stylists are the consultants. They can see a vision, recommend it, show you, and work with that. When I got to stop and tell you to do X, Y, and Z, how you want it? Okay, well, I have an idea. I like to tell you how I would like to look. And because you are an expert in your field, it's like somebody coming to you for photography. They're saying, I have this type of business, X, Y, and Z, and you are a consultant. So because you're a consultant and an expert in your field, what has worked is X, Y, and Z.
Right.
I recommend this. I think any business, any brand, if you are an expert, you're also a consultant.
Talk about it.
And if you can't be a consultant, then you can't help me get to a goal, especially to a person that's goal driven, that just has visions.
Right.
I don't like to have to come down and think on this intricate level for certain things.
Right.
I'm just being honest.
I'm with you.
So when I came to your studio that day, I said, here, I need photos for X, Y, and Z, da, 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 da. And you did everything else after that. I had no idea what I wanted, but you took amazing pictures. Do you remember that?
I remember that day.
I love those pictures.
I love them too.
Mm-hmm.
So listen, we were gonna get into, because you left as a client, you felt away, and I've had people like leave my business and go elsewhere, and it usually happens because of disagreements. We typically disagree about something, and so the next question is the customer always right? There's this age-old adage that the customer is always right, and but we out of time, so we got to talk about
That's
that
next
on the
episode.
next one.
Yeah.
I want you. Do we have anything you want to leave the good people of the podcast with today?
Listen, there is something called relational currency, and I think that is huge when it comes to business. If I pour into you, it yields a result of excellence, a great relationship. Relational currency is the root of all business.
Hey.
Period.
Period.
And you have to be careful where you plant your fruit, where you plant your seeds, because that's the fruit that'll come. So, not to get too deep, I just wanted to point that out.
Hey.
Just be very intentional about where you plant seeds, who you partner with, because where you plant is what you're gonna reap from. So
I'm with it. So where you plant is where you grow.
Yeah.
You get, all right, your harvest. I get it. All right. So listen, if you are an entrepreneur, if you are a high-powered entrepreneur and you're looking to attract more clients, you're looking to sell higher ticket items, you're looking to multiply your income without having a large social media following, listen, tap in with us. The logo, not the logo, the link is at the bottom of the screen here. Tap in with us. We're going to help you get your business where you want your business to go. If you are a podcaster, aspiring podcaster, and you're looking to launch your new podcast, the Brand One Network is looking for you. Listen, this podcast, Making the Brand, was brought to you by APAP Media Group, Brand New Consulting Group, and Kris 10 Media. Listen, we're glad that you tuned in with us. Make sure you click the like, click subscribe, share it with a friend. And next week we're talking about, is the customer always right?
Is the customer always right?
I'm going to love this. I'm going to love that because yeah. But we'll see y'all on the next one, man. Y'all know how we do it. Peace and love. Responsible brands. Brand responsibly. This is the Making the Brand podcast.